comes down. So I really didn't. I had coaches that were cool, like I was blessed. PD Washington was my first DB coach, and he played 14 years in the league. He was on the Raiders back then, and the thing he was beneficial for, he understood when things didn't go right. Like I'd be like, I was covering, I think it was like Reggie Wayne. I'm like, man, he ran a double go comeback sluggo post. He'd be like, hey man. He'd be like, hey man, because he played. So he's like, I get it. That's tough. Where a coach that wouldn't play, he'd be like, man, you got to get this technique. You got to put your hand here. He was like, bro, chalk it up. Line it up next play. Like, so he offered that experience, where when I went to Seattle, even when I went to the Giants, like Coach Peter Junta, he was big on like assignments. He was big on assignments. So he was a teacher on assignments, right? So I knew what I had. I knew where to be. And then when I went to Seattle, Chris was situational football, and he was master technician on how to play that stuff. And so I swear with him, I learned more football in 6 months than I did. Now, there's no disrespect. Like I learned what I learned. I was who I was when I got there, but he really sat down and went through it. I remember after practice, Pete Carroll used to have me, step kick the pad on the goalpost for like 20 minutes. Boom, 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 boom. And he would sit there and just watch me. Boom, boom. I'm like, damn, bro. He goes, everyone did it. I looked down there at Sherm. Boom, boom. Like everyone's just step kicking, just the muscle memory. And it's funny because it's what people don't know too. The step kick is so difficult to learn. Those who are learning step kick, I'm gonna tell you right now, for the first 2 weeks, you're gonna get fried. You're going to, because it's so challenging, and you got to learn like, okay, he's gonna blah blah blah. I'm a step kick, and I need to react. And this is the biggest blessing, but also it was tough work. But I had to go against Doug Baldwin every day in practice, bro. And I'm gonna tell you right now, you got Stevie Johnson, you got Devontae Adams, you got Ocho Cinco. I mean, you can, and then Doug Baldwin, bro. Like Doug Baldwin, I'm telling you, guys, you young boys, like go pull up his tape at the line of scrimmage. He took guys out the screen, okay, and I had to go against that every single day in practice. And literally, it was like, damn, but I kept trusting it. But the reason why I was willing to go through it, because I told you guys earlier, you can't be afraid to get beat, man. It's going to happen. So going back, I know I'm going back, but go to these camps and go find out. Go find the best guys and find out. Go find this person to find out. And I really want to, because I seen it was going well for guys, and I was like, let me go through this 2-week gauntlet of getting fried, and eventually, whoop whoop, click, got them. Okay. I just acquired a new skill, right? Whatever Fortnite y'all play Call of Duty, I just acquired a new skill. I got a new pack, right? I just leveled up. I'm prestige now. You know what I mean? So that was the biggest thing. Is like it's not going to happen right away, but to me, man, especially for taller guys who got good lateral quickness, like I'm a big fan of that stuff. So, wow, bro, it's such a journey, man.
Yeah, I'm definitely aware of Doug Baldwin. I grew up in the Seattle area. I went to school with Jermaine Kearse.
Chop.
So, Chop 15. I went to school with him. But I like what you said, because I'm coaching, and I actually coached in Japan, and I was trying to implement certain techniques. And for their culture, failure is different, right? It's kind of, there's a shame that comes with it. So they do everything they can to avoid that failure. And trying to introduce a technique where, like you said, you got to put in your 2 weeks before you start to kind of get on the other side of the hill was very difficult, because to them, it's, I don't want to be shamed one time, let alone you're telling me in order to build and get, 2 weeks. It's like, so it took me 2 years to get a couple players to buy into that technique. So I'm definitely going to show this to them. And then I have one last thing, and then I have to go.
Yeah,
So yeah, we're talking about technique. We're talking about mental capacity. We're talking about pre-snap knowledge. Um, so if we're building percentages, or we're building a pie for DB, if we're including technique, if we're including emotional capacity, be able to recover mentally, and then
mm,
we're talking about pre-snap mental makeup. What percentage would you put into technique, put into your pre-snap, and then your ability to recover mentally?
yeah. I mean, I would say the mental part is like damn near 80%, like truly, um, because that is you're literally walking up and you need to first believe that he's not getting the football, because what that's going to do is going to channel all of the necessary energy to compete. Like, it is competition. Again, I know guys that did not have great technique, but damn it, you were not getting the ball because they just clawed and scratched to make sure you didn't get it. So like that competitive, that confidence, that all that stuff of like, I don't care who comes over here. I don't care, you know. Or I'll travel. I'm not whatever. I don't care. Like I want the action. That is huge. That's everything. And then just really get into understanding like, yeah, what's going to happen. What are they trying to do to us? How are they going to attack me? And then you can get into the technique. You know what I'm saying? I think guys are so hardcore focused on the technique, which it's important, but you're missing everything else. You're missing the foundation. The foundation is the mental part, because you're gonna get got. I've been mossed on national television. I made plays on national television. I like it's going to happen. And so truly that mental component of like Mark mentioned, their resilience. Like, yeah, bad stuff is gonna happen, but what do I do the next snap, right? How do I bounce back? But that's trained, and that's trained in practice. Like, that's what it is. It's trained in practice. That's why when guys go through practice, like, okay, I'm just gonna get ready for Saturday or whatever, get ready Friday or Sunday, it's like it's too late. It's too late. So it's funny because when I first got to the league, I'm like, damn, Sundays are a beast. And that's because, like, maybe I wasn't practicing as hard. And then it flipped. Like, year four, I was like, no, excuse me, year three, it flipped when I was like, damn, like, thank God we got game because practice was terrible. And trust me, but people don't know, like, practice, when I was in Green Bay, practice was straight flames, bro, because our starters, we had Brett Favre throwing the ball. Our backups, Aaron Rodgers was throwing the ball, right? And pick your matchup. You want Donald Driver, you want Greg Jennings, you want Jordy Nelson, you want James Jones. Like, who you want? Like, that was the four D. Okay?
Yeah, those dudes are tough. Those dudes are tough.
And when the backup and Aaron Rodgers came in, he came in practice. The ball didn't hit the ground. So every day it was that smoke. And there were times where remember Charles Woodson, he would not he would try to take every one-on-one rep. No. Or every team rep. Like, he would not let us get in the field because he wanted everybody. He wanted all the smoke. It wasn't like, I'm gonna get my one rep. Nah, man. He came in there and he one on ones, team drills. Like, hell no. He was like, F y'all. Like, you're not. So then we went to games. We were good, and that's why Seattle had success, because in Seattle, it was competition was everything with Pete Carroll. That's why I believe he's the best decision the Raiders are going to make. He's going to flip that whole culture. I promise. But in Seattle, I swear, when I went there, every practice was to the death. I'm telling you, it was to the death. When I went there, it really revived my career because I got hurt. I went through adversity, whatever. I didn't get signed. I almost like damn near retired. And it really forced me because it brought back competition. It really did. It was kill or be killed. And I remember five players that got cut from that team, including myself in training camp, end up starting somewhere else. That's what was crazy. We end up starting somewhere else. Like, that's how competitive. Antoine Winfield retired because he was like, Like I'm done. Like it was it. It was a lot, but it came down to the essence of competition. I tell my DBs now, I say act before the snap, right? Getting to the pre-snap. Alignment, assignment, key, and technique. Right? So once you get to the line of scrimmage, you're already mentally prepared. Act. Alignment, assignment, key, technique. So I can do this all day, fellas.